All of a sudden, the light bulb, came in. I said, oh, Memorial Day happens to be one of these. So that got my attention. And I said, when did Memorial Day become palindrome before? And that's when I realized it never did.
So for the first time in the history of the United States, Memorial Day is on a so-called palindrome day, when it's written in the format you see right there on your screen. The numbers read the same forwards and backwards. A longtime electrical engineer professor at the University of Portland brought this to our attention today. You just heard from him. Aziz Inan calls today a once-in-a-lifetime palindromic Memorial Day. It happened back in 1935 on Decoration Day, the precursor to Memorial Day, but has not happened since the change to Memorial Day became official in 1971. The next time Memorial Day will fall on a palindrome day, not for another century, May 28th, 2125. And again a decade later on May 30th, 2135. After that, we'll be waiting a while.
I said, I'm not only going to look at 22nd century when you're going to have two palindrome Memorial Days, but what about 23rd century? I wondered, I said, is there going to be one or two? And I realized that there's not going to be any palindrome Memorial Day in the 23rd century, because interestingly enough, in the 23rd century, in the year 2225, which ends with 25, Memorial Day is going to happen on May 30th. That's why that date is not going to be a palindrome number. And then in the year 2235, Memorial Day falls on May 25, which is not a 31 or 31 type of date. And so in the 23rd century, there's not going to be any palindrome Memorial Day.
Okay, so each century can either have 1, 2, or 0 palindromic Memorial Days, making this year's single occurrence quite rare.